Good afternoon, I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. Questions about China are still center stage, even in President Bongbong Marcos's meeting with U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris earlier today. Marcos Jr. was accompanied by First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, while Harris was with U.S. Second Gentleman Douglas M. Hough. On the sidelines of that meeting, President Marcos briefly addressed Beijing's recent aggression in the South China Sea, while Harris reiterated America's support for the Philippines on the matter of the territorial route.
As concerned as you could possibly be, it is one of the major issues that we have to face tackle.
And on the issue of security, of course, the work that our countries are doing together as it relates to the South China Sea, as it relates to what we must do in terms of continuing to work together through our Coast Guard.
And the honeymoon period is not yet over for President Bongbong Marcos, as evidenced by his very high approval and trust ratings. Speaking to the chiefs, political analyst Jean Encinas Franco said that historically, public opinion is positive on any president's first year in office. Professor Edna Co agreed, adding that Filipinos always give their leaders leeway to improve their performance. Marcos Jr. got a 78% approval rating and an 80% trust rating in last month's Pulse Asia survey. He is marking his first anniversary of his election victory on May 9.
Historically, yung surveys say all the first years of each administration daw, except yata nung kay Gloria, mataas. So parang in a way, post-EDSA, Filipinos have given presidents a sort of a honeymoon period for a year.
Sa akin, it's about the people also. People who continue to pinho. The Filipinos are very generous and very kind people. And I think it's about that. First year, pagbigyan natin.
And in other news, administrative raps may be filed against 4 ranking police officials with alleged drug links. In a text message, former PNP Chief Rodolfo Azurin Jr. confirmed that the 5-man advisory panel has recommended the filing of charges against 2 police generals and 2 colonels, and that the matter is already with the National Police Commission. Azurin refused to identify the 4 officials. Recall that Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos had asked all police colonels and generals to submit their courtesy resignations on the back of reports that some of them are involved in the illegal drug trade. We're pausing for a short break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us here on One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Philippine Airlines said that preparations are underway for the 6-hour airspace shutdown on May 17. PAL spokesperson Shelo Villaluna explained that the shutdown will affect their early morning departures and international arrivals. PAL is planning to delay affected flights with cancellation as the last option. For its part, the Manila International Airport Authority reminded airlines to give their passengers a heads up on the flight disruptions. The MIAA will be shutting down the Philippine airspace from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. on May 17 to replace the backup power supply of the country's air traffic management system, which caused the glitch on New Year's Day.
The airlines can advise the passengers the better because of these planned changes in their itinerary. What will happen there is for 6 hours, wala talagang activity sa ating airspace. But of course, CAAP is saying it could happen mas maikli, di ba? Pwedeng shorter. Pero as far as their planning is concerned, we're planning for 6 hours.
And Senator Sonny Angara says that the 1 billion pesos requested by the Manila International Airport Authority to purchase generators can be included in next year's budget. As it is considered crucial infrastructure, the MIAA should either include this in their next budget request or the government can pull the budget from its savings if the request is urgent. For her part, Senator Grace Poe says the request can be subsidized through the national budget's unprogrammed funds. Poe specified that it can also be sourced from the revolving funds for airport operations. The MIAA explained that the backup generators of NAIA's Terminal 3 can only cover 30% of its power requirements and that it would need 1 billion pesos to purchase additional units. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The Sandigan Bayan has junked the motion of former Quezon City Mayor Herbert Bautista to dismiss his graft case from 2019. This stems from a 32 million peso contract for the procurement of an online occupational permitting and tracking system. In its 15-page resolution, the anti-graft court said that the issues Bautista raised should be tackled in a full-blown trial. And the Philippine National Police says that it will accost students caught vaping or smoking in public places. Cops will enforce the laws and ordinances of local governments, which they said will be a big help in ensuring discipline among the people. Oplan Bisita Escuela will also be re-implemented, which requires police officers to patrol communities and schools. And sugar prices remain high despite the increase in supply this year. The Sugar Regulatory Administration says sugar is still selling for as much as 136 pesos per kilo. But the regulator did clarify that the selling price in markets are lower at 86 to 110 pesos per kilo. And Charles III will be king in 3 days. The last 6 months has been an extremely busy time for the heir to the British throne. Let's take a look back.
I think we are already surprised by the Prince Charles who was turned into King Charles, and whom we still call Prince Charles because that's how we think of him. But actually he's become a monarch quicker than people expected. He's picked up thorny issues like not just the empire, but slavery. He has said, okay, if a scholar wants to investigate what British monarchs have thought about slavery, let them come in and look at the papers.
It's a big thing to take on at that age, you know. I mean, it's suddenly his whole life has changed, you know. He's now got so much to do. It's like suddenly he's been made president, chairman of the company, a huge global company, and you know, people will be coming to him with every possible problem and every possible issue to do with, you know, religion and the armed forces and politics and, you know, and not only that, administrative things, you know, and also, if you like, is, you know, he's got his own family and all the other things he has to think of. I mean, it's a lot on his plate. It's a big thing to take on at that age. So yes, I suspect he's a man in a hurry.
One News Now will be back with the latest stories at 6:30 p.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.